So whatever Dwight Stones meant in the lead up to the 76 Olympics, where he was anti-Quebec or anti-Olympic Stadium or anti-French, he paid for it. He was the best high jumper in the world. Only won bronze at 76. Greg Joy, our Canadian hero, got second. I don't want to talk about Joy too much because what he's involved with in his current job or previous job basically goes against what Canadians are all about. But Dwight Stones, like any high jumper, they're obsessed with rain. So how did Dwight Stones become such a pariah? Now, in the Montreal Gazette in recent years, there was a story by Andy Riga where an anti-French remark by Dwight Stones made him literally a pariah. Now, Canada was the first Summer Olympics host country to not win a gold medal, but Greg Joy helped the country end the games on a high, winning a silver to high jump and a second to last day of the Olympics. Cheering spectators in Olympic Stadium were also happy because Dwight Stones, an American who had been the favorite to win, ended up with a bronze. Stones had been booed repeatedly during his event. Francophones were incensed after Stones, a controversial figure known as the Mouth with Legs and the Mouth That Soars. He was only, I think, 22 at the time, was quoted as saying, "I'm very upset with the French Canadians. The stadium isn't finished, and that's just plain rude." So there was some interpretation of what he meant. Did he mean all Quebecers were rude or French Canadians, or was it just saying, oh, okay, you never finished it, so that's not a way to treat your friends? Now, Stones was jumping again towards the middle round when he hoping to quell the ensuing furor. He was booed continuously in the qualifications and the medal round. Stones took to wearing a T-shirt emblazoned with the message, "I love French Canadians." When he began his approach to the bazaar, it built to a crescendo, wave on wave of hate pouring down from the upper echelons. The Gazette reported on July 31st, 76. Now, depends who you talk to. Did he learn? Did he learn from it, or did he? It doesn't really matter. Now, the French Canadian comments, anti-French Canadians, it was not only criticizing the incomplete stadium, but the living quarters they're in. This led to widespread booing and controversy during the games, where Stones, again, "I love a French Canadians" T-shirt had to be taken off. It was there to attempt to quell the furor, but it was only in English, so it made it even worse. Now, Stones criticized the organizations of the Montreal Olympics, specifically the unofficial stadium roof, which was never really finished, and the cramped living quarters at the Olympic Village. His comments about the rude French Canadians were interpreted by the Quebecois community as an anti-Quebec comment. As a result, Stones was met with constant haranguing and hissing from the crowd throughout the competition. Again, he wore the T-shirt, but officials later asked him to remove it because it would smack of commercialism. Now, the Stones, again, the controversial and divisive figure, he later acknowledged his behavior, stating, "I was a jerk," and he learned a lot about himself from the experience in Montreal. However, during the infamous match race between Michael Johnson and Donovan Bailey in '97, he basically predicted Johnson was going to win, and Johnson, quit like a chicken. So how good was Stones leading into Montreal? Well, probably the best high jumper in the world. We're giving him proof. Now, Stones was one of the world's top high jumpers from 72 to 84, and again was twice named the World Indoor Athlete of the Year by Track and Field News. Won bronze in 72 and bronze in Montreal. At the 76 Olympics, again, he was a heavy favorite to win. Earlier, he finished second in the U.S. Olympic trials, then had to settle for a number of bronze behind Jacek Wazola and local favorite Greg Joy when his jumping ability was hampered by the competition being struck by rain. It was heavy. Now, a few days later, he raised the world record to 7'7", 5 16 inches in dry conditions at the perfect Franklin Field Court in Philadelphia. Now, he's participating in the games again, sparked a heated debate. Some people thought he should have been thrown out for what he said. He had allegedly said he hated French Canadians. Montreal Matin newspaper, July 29, 1976, pages 5 and 8, when he criticized the organizations of the games in a media interview. Probably thought it wasn't going to be picked up across Canada, which it did. Now, the debate became so inflamed that the Americans in the audience responded to the treatment of Stones by booing future Commonwealth champion Claude Farang, who was Quebecois during the event. Now, after missing the 1980 Olympics in Moscow due to an American-led boycott, he returned to the games at age 30 and 84 in LA and finished a rough fourth. He cleared 231 but lost the bronze medal to Yu Junhua on the count back. His distant cousin Doug Nordquist finished fifth, clearing 229. He had earned his spot in the U.S. Olympic team by setting his 13 American record at 7 foot 8 and 1/8 inches, while Nordquist finished second at 231 at the U.S. Olympic trials on June 24th. Now, broke the world record 3 times between 73 and 76, and broke the then American record of 234, 7 foot 8 on June 24th, 84. Now, at the TAC outdoor title event, first in 83 and indoor third. TAC indoor first that year. 1980 AAAU third place. 78 AAAU high jump first. World Cup second in 77. High jump at AAU first. US TFF outdoor title event first. AAU outdoor title high jump first. And again, 76 won the bronze. And he was NCAA champion in both outdoor and indoor that year. So from 1972, ladies and gentlemen, to 1984, now he's become a prominent broadcaster throughout the years. And what was kind of weird, ladies and gentlemen, he's probably considered one of the best Jewish track and field athletes in American history, even though not too many people talk about their Judaism quite often. He's a member of the U.S. Track Hall of Fame, the California Sports Hall of Fame, the International Jewish Sports Hall of Fame, and the Orange County Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. Now, the native of L.A. set a national high school record while at Glendale High School in 71 at 7 feet 1 3/8 inches. Then won the bronze again at 72 at only 18. So he was one of the... Now, you wouldn't think he's 6'5". You wouldn't think he's a slender 172. And again, use the traditional Fosbury flop. Personal best 234 and 84. So do I think Dwight Stones is an egotist? Yes. Do you think he did it deliberately on purpose? As we say, no. Because every high jumper in the 1970s, unless it was a domed stadium, which were very rare at the time, the high jump track would cross the track and field track, usually AfroTurf and you have to go from a dry area to a wet area to a dry area to a wet area. And you look at 72, 76, and in the competition it was raining all the way through. Only parts of Olympic Stadium would get rain, and for some reason the organizers put the high jump where the rain was more prominent instead of doing it someplace else. But Dwight Stones could have easily won the gold medal in 76, but it's so nasty to try to jump 7 feet 6 or higher at an international event that you're one moment or one step away from either fouling out or going towards 8 feet. So Dwight Stones, again, I consider one of the greatest high jumpers of all time, but sometimes his mouth would get ahead of his brain, which is typical American in 2024, and it was very typical American in 1976 in Montreal. It's funny there, it's 49 years later, and people are still talking about, remember what Dwight Stone said about Canada? We're rude, or Quebecois are rude? Which is true, but that's not the point. You can't say it. You can think it, but you can't say it. So that's Dwight Stones and Isaga in 76 in Montreal. If you like what they're doing here, we're a historical sports podcast. Let us know what you like, comment, subscribe, or share.